I got it right this time, boys. All is good.
Impressive.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you're going to be watching this one. Welcome to Thoughts from Mine. I'm Duke. You know the other two, Andy and Steve, that are joining me for this little episode of Extra Time. Our little preview of the Gent Tutter, not Gent Cooker, Gent Tutter, for the in the conference second leg of the quarter final. Chaps, how do we feel after the result against Arsenal at the weekend? How do we feel going into this one? Andy, you first.
I'm excited. These don't come around very often. Waking up, I'm not really feeling it yet. I'm excited for the game, but Thursday morning when I wake up, that's when I know it's like game day, and that's when you start to get that feeling inside. But yeah, especially after the result on Thursday, I think we I don't know if we
Sunday.
chatted. I chatted, yeah, Sunday. But I mean, if we chat when we chatted. I chatted on Claret and Booze last night as well, and we had the decision. If you had to pick what game to win, Thursday or Sunday, I picked Thursday. That's how much it means to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was having conversations with people in the pub today, in fact. So as we record this, it's Tuesday night. Chelsea are just kicking off against Real Madrid, or have kicked off, should I say. And I was having conversations with people in the pub, and it was put to me earlier, would I rather see us win the Conference League and get relegated, or would I rather see us go out at this stage and stay up? And I think I surprised a few people, and I probably surprised you as well, boys, when I said I actually just want to see us win the conference.
Oh, I said the same.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid. I mean, relegation and a European trophy. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've seen us get relegated before and bounce back a couple of years later. I've never seen us win a trophy. So I'd rather that. Steve, again, to you, after Sunday, Andy's disappeared. It's just a brick wall. After Sunday, are you feeling confident, shall I say?
If the team that played on Sunday turns up and plays like that, we smash them.
Yeah.
If the team that turned up in the first leg plays them,
you're doing
I'm
it now.
not sure.
You're disappearing.
I'm still here.
Yeah,
I end up with half my head missing. Look,
sorry, Steve.
That's all right. I've had worse things happen. No, I'll be honest with you. I think if we play anything like we did on Sunday, we could beat them 4-0. Easy. Because they're not, you've got to give them full respect. But our team, at its best, is better.
Well, again, touching on Sunday, you're spot on. The way we listen, we discussed this on the live, didn't we? On what was Monday night, and we said, we came out of the blocks very slow. Well, I say we didn't come out of the blocks very slow. No, we came out of the blocks and we just got undone by two fantastic goals.
Yeah,
but things changed. We tactically we stopped the way they played, and then we kicked it into what I feel was a higher gear, and because of that, our pressing and all the rest of that malarkey that comes with it. If we can play with the same, like you say, Steve, the same high pressure, high intensity, the high press, the passion, the drive, and breaking quick, they can't have enough for us, can they? Surely.
No, nowhere near. So the thing is, we still get asked the question: would you take relegation and winning the thing? After Sunday, I don't honestly believe relegation's on the board now for the first time this season. I've never thought we'd go down. I thought it might get dicey, but something deep inside always says no. We've got enough to stay up, and I think you've got to now park. Are we going to get relegated? Because even if we get nothing out of the Bournemouth game, how many more points do we realistically need? 5.
Not even that,
I
mate.
think
I'll
I
be
think
honest.
4
Not
will be
No.
even
enough.
that. I don't even
Yeah.
think it's going to be that, Andy. I'll be honest with you, boys. Looking at the table, and we are going to do something on this in the next 4 or 5 days, I suppose. Maybe we'll try and figure something out. We'll get a recording done based around this. I don't think it's going to even need to be that. There's 4 points there, right? That
Yeah.
means that the bottom 3 or 2 of the bottom 3 have to win 2,
Yeah.
and we have to lose 2 for that.
Badly and
Yeah,
badly.
badly for that whole swing to be in motion. That gives them 6 points, right? Gives us none, and there are 4 points for us, and then that drops us 2 points behind them into the 2 relegation spots, right? That's something that has to happen at some point. Now, yes, I am very aware that we have Liverpool, Manchester United, and Manchester City in 3 games. We then have Bournemouth, Brentford, Leicester,
Palace.
and
Palace.
Palace, right? Well, do we honestly see Leicester picking up a win against us? I'm honest, sorry, Chris, but no. Do I see Palace? I can see us getting a draw there. And
We've
do I
got
see
Leeds,
Leeds, Bournemouth? I think we're
Leicester.
going to be okay. I mean, I don't even think it needs to be 4 or 5, but let's park that for now because
Yeah.
obviously we can
So
come
for,
back to that.
so for me, it's a bit different to you guys. I've seen us pick the FA Cup up twice in my life. You know,
You saw the
being
World Cup as well, didn't you?
well, no, I was only 1 at the time. You know,
You and Gates were in your early 20s when we won that, weren't we?
yeah, something like that. No, I'm old enough to remember us being world champions,
Yep.
but I'm not old enough to remember the game at all. But no, I've seen us pick up the cup 75 and 80, and they were spectacular days. You know, those were the days when the FA Cup was on the telly all day, and you
Yeah.
just sat there.
12 o'clock start, and that was all you had
Yeah,
until like
70,
5, 6 o'clock, when it, yeah.
75 particularly, I was just glued to my grandparents' black and white telly. Well, you have watching everything, even the It's a Knockout between West Ham and Fulham. You know, I remember it well. We won that. But so for me, it's what now? Oh, 16. Yeah, it's 42 years since we picked up a trophy. I would love to see us
43.
get another. Yeah, I would love to see us get another trophy in my time.
All
That
right.
would
Would you go? Do you reckon you'll get a ticket to go?
what to the final?
Yeah.
No, I won't go
Andy,
to the
you?
final.
Only 4,000 tickets, mate.
That's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
Yeah,
In a stadium that holds, I think, 26.
Yeah, all the
30,
rest is corporate. All the rest
all
is
the rest is
corporate.
corporate. It's mad. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, listen, it sounds really
Well,
stupid.
I can't go anyway. I'm actually in Tenerife. I booked my holiday, so I'm be in Tenerife watching it anyway. If I could be there.
All right, all right. You're sunning yourself whilst watching the game. Fair play. I mean, listen, I remember days of 3. I remember 3 of them. Well, 4 of them, because obviously we had the FA Cup final. I watched that in the Central, I think it was, or the Denmark, up at the bowling, Denmark Arms. Started off in the bowling pub, but someone threw a plastic cup of beer at one of the TVs and shorted everything in that game. So I ended up outside the Denmark watching in, like, through the windows and shit. I think I went to the bar to get a drink and Dean Ashton scored. I remember the playoff finals. You know,
yeah.
the Palace one, the Preston North End one, and obviously the one against
Blackpool.
Blackpool. And I remember how I felt on waking up on them days. And just, I mean, listen, they're not going to compare to a European final. I mean, the thing is, the European final will take place on a Wednesday night, I think it is.
I've seen us in the European final as well, Cup Winners' Cup.
You're ancient. That's why.
Yeah, but I
Love
mean,
you.
Whatever you've got, I've done better. We might as well
It is,
just
isn't
give
it, with
up
him?
and
You're about 72 years older than me, right?
all those memories of the playoff finals, the FA Cup final, mid noughties, great.
But
But
those days were special, weren't they? Like
yeah,
I'll be honest. The night before, I felt like a kid on Christmas Eve because of what you knew what was the following day. Do you know what I mean? And it was,
yeah,
I mean, the Blackpool final. I was round my in-laws, round my sister's house with my brother-in-law and my niece and my nephew. Um, I didn't see Vaz Tay's goal go in. I was too busy screaming and punching the wall, asking for a penalty because I thought the goalkeeper had absolutely wiped out Carlton Cole. Watching it back, you see that Carlton Cole actually does really well to get the ball to Vaz Tay. So I didn't actually see the goal. I was facing. I think I was in a chair, banging against the wall just to have my nephew, and my brother jump on my back as Vaz Tay. I think he tried to miss it. To be fair, I think he was trying to make it cut penalties, but. Days like that don't come along too often, and I mean this game on Thursday against Ghent takes us one step closer, and I do believe with the right formation, the right lineup,
yeah.
we can take something out of it. Getting back on point then, Andy. I've just had a quick look, and the under-18s obviously play on Saturday midday. Um, they're away to playing Leicester. But that's wrapped up. That's done and dusted. They've won that. And they won that with a fairly weakened side against Arsenal. I say a weakened side. I think all of the players in that squad of under 18s are exceptionally talented compared to the rest of their league. And I think it was nice of Kevin Keane to have that rotation. He dropped Mabama. I don't even think Mabama was in the squad for that game against Arsenal.
He played for the under-23s against Palace, though.
Is that what that right? Okay, because I actually thought he was going to be used.
He's mainly under-23s, but he played in the FA Cup for the under-18s because he's eligible. He mainly plays for the under-23s
Right,
now.
fair
Joe
enough.
Cole did that when we hammered Coventry
He
as
did.
well.
He did. I remember that. So obviously, saying that then, so with a game on Tuesday at the Emirates for the under 18s, Andy, do you envision seeing? Obviously, earlier in the season, we saw the likes of Ollie Scholes, we saw um, Orford.
Potts.
Potts,
Yeah,
Coventry was in there as well. I know he's out on loan now. But do you envision seeing any of the youngsters making that
Only
not
divide.
necessarily the starting lineup, but maybe the bench, other than obviously Heggie and Anang as one of three goalkeepers on the bench because I can see it happening.
The only thing I can see is Divine. I can see because obviously Skamaka's out now for 3 months.
Yeah,
So I can only see Divine, probably or Potts or Potts maybe, but I can't see anyone else. To be perfectly honest, I think it's just going to be the same squad. Probably the same bench. Well, the squad rotation of Sunday, apart from Divine maybe being included. That's the only thing I can see.
I'd agree. Divine's the only one. If we want to win this, you can't chuck the kids in at this stage. With the feeling of your team picking up a trophy, I what was I? I was 10 in 75. I still remember clearly the whole day and how I felt and my emotions when Billy Bonds went and lifted that cup. It's been with me all my life. And looking back at it now, you get quite emotional. You get a bit of a lump in your throat because it was that good. And
well,
if we pick up this, and I'm hoping we can pick this up, so the generations of West Ham fans who haven't been as privileged as me can have that moment because it will stay with them all their life.
well, let's see again in the same aspect as my dad. My dad was, I think, he witnessed the 65 Cup Winners' Cup. He remembers the World Cup, and then obviously the two cups that you've mentioned so far. My dad witnessed those. I was 18 months. My scarf is over there that I had for the 80 Cup final. I don't remember it. I was 18 months old. I only obviously know subsequently watching DVDs and talking to players like David Cross that we had on the channel, late last year, and discussing, their memories of games like that. I want something. I witnessed the FA Cup final, and I have to say, it was a little bit of fate in a way, because I was the same age as my dad was, and Grace, who is now 18, was the same age as me when West Ham got to the FA Cup final in 80. So there was some sort of poetic parallel there that, it was kind of this strange kind of the same train but different stations 20 years down the line kind of thing. And it was really quite surreal. And I was actually had this really weird dream the night before that we actually won it. And I remember Grace has still got her scarf from that FA Cup final. I made sure we got her one. I made sure we ordered the big program that you can buy online, and I wanted to have all of that because I like I say, I've still got my scarf, and I wanted her to have that in the same way as she grew up. Whereas now, we go to this game on Thursday, and my son's 8 years old. I'd love for him now to have something of his own in a way. And it does. It starts on Thursday. And I'm confident, boys. I am. I mean, I saw a renaissance in us on Sunday. I saw something, as I said in the match review with you boys, what was last night at the time of recording this. Something I hadn't seen in about 18 months in the league. We've seen it very randomly in different places. City we discussed, didn't we? Lyon away. I saw something in us, and I'm just kind of hoping that we come out, we play on the front foot. There's going to be 50,000 plus. I know all the tickets haven't sold, but there's going to be 50,000 of us behind the team. And especially based off of Sunday, we will be. I mean, I'm not saying we're not behind the team on a normal game, but there'll be that still there in our mind of what we witnessed on Sunday, and pushing them to continue. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm now more nervous about this than I am the league.
Yeah, I think I will agree with you on that one. Yeah.
God, do I want us to go through. And boy, do I want us to go one better and get to the final. If somebody had told me I'd have to wait over 4 decades to see us lift another trophy,
There
I
it
wouldn't
is.
have believed them.
There it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some clubs out there that haven't lifted a trophy. There are clubs out there that have lifted more trophies than us in the last 4 decades that are in leagues 1 and 2 because they've won like the FA Vase or the FA Trophy or the ZDS Cup as it was once known, or all of there are trophies down there for those sort of sides, and there are clubs that are perennial winners of things like that. You know what I mean? So I'd love to be able to have that. Right. That being said, then we're gonna Andy, give me a formation you'd like to see us play on Thursday.
4-4-2.
4-4-2.
Yeah.
Which is what I said he reverted to after the 2 goals against Arsenal.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Steve, same formation?
4-4-2. And
right,
in fact,
okay. I'm going to stick with that then. I'm not going to deviate. I'll stick with a 4-4-2. Andy, give me your goalkeeper that you'd like to see.
Areola.
So you think he will, and do you think he will?
Yeah, but do you know what? Before we interrupt, I think Moyes will do what other managers have done, and I'll be very disappointed if he puts if we get to the final and he puts Fabianski in. I can see him doing it. I can see him doing it. I really can.
Yeah, I can. Goalkeeper
Goalkeeper for
me,
you, Steve?
Fabianski.
You'll go Fabianski in this one.
Yeah, it's
Woo!
getting really serious now, and I just think Fab's better. I'm sorry. I would start the team we started on Sunday. I
So
put the
your
strongest.
starting 11 would be
Yeah,
mirrored.
yeah,
All right,
mirrored.
well, I won't come back to you for the rest of the formation, for the rest of the
No,
players.
no, because look, if you want to win this, you've got to put out the strongest you've got and make sure you win it.
Well, I
Those
think
players,
I see where you're coming from. I think that's harsh on. I think that'd be very, very harsh um, on Areola to be dropped from
hugely.
that.
But this is professional football, and what do you want to do? You know, this is something the really great teams have always been. Do you want to be nice, or do you want to be ruthless and win? And
I still think that Areola has what it takes to be able to be that goalkeeper for that game, though. I really do.
yeah, I don't disagree, but if you want to win it, you've got to put out the strongest you've got. The game on Sunday, if we won this and got a point on Sunday, I'd be over the moon. You know, I think that'd be great return. But if you want to win, you've got to put out your best team that gives you the best chance of winning.
No, that's fair enough. And like I say, I'm not going to, that's your opinion, and it's a valid opinion. And there are going to be some out there that will agree with you and
Oh
say that
yeah,
you are right. And there are going to be some that probably will come at you in the comments once, once this is uploaded.
absolutely, and I can
So be
see.
prepared to defend yourself.
Yeah, no, and I can see both sides of the argument. I absolutely can, and I think it'd be incredibly hard on Areola. But after 40 years, I want to see us lift another trophy. I want to see us win something. It's
No,
long overdue.
that's fair. I get it. I do. Okay, so you're saying your starting 11 would be the same as what started
Yeah,
against Arsenal.
yeah, absolutely. They'll be on a high. They'll be confident. They've played brilliantly against Arsenal. Stick them out there. Gent won't. Gent won't be able to cope with that if they play like they did on Sunday.
I mean, I am in agreement with that. I am very much in agreement that they wouldn't be able to cope. All right, then. Well, Andy, seeing as we know Steve's set up, then your back four. You've gone with Areola. What's your back four?
It will be Emerson,
Yep,
Aguerd,
yep,
Zuma.
yep.
Yeah, I'm saving Kera for the league. I'm Sufal right back.
Okay, so you two. So you're only keeping Sufal in there. Oh no, and Zuma. So you're
Zuma, yeah.
changing your two of your back line. Okay, your four midfielders. And
Uh,
what kind of shape would
so,
you have?
so it's a diamond.
Right.
I'd have Rice, defensive mid, like sitting there. Ben Rama on the left, or Fornells.
Yeah.
Bowen on the right, Baqueta in the number 10,
And your two up top.
Cornet and Antonio.
Yeah,
That's where you stick Cornet. I like it. I like it a lot. Me.
Cornet could go on the left, and you could put Benny's done good on the right when I've seen him. I remember Tottenham away, he fucking ripped
Yeah.
him to shreds. So you could even put Benny out there if you don't feel confident, and have Antonio and Bowen up front. But I think you've got to go for it. You've got to scare the life out of them and attack them.
Yeah. I mean, I see where you. I get both sides of the coin. I get both of your arguments have merit on who starts and where, why, and how. Me, Areola in goal, Emerson, Aguerd. It could be Oggy.
He's suspended.
Is he?
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
yellow. He misses
Fine,
it.
then it's Zuma, because again, I'm like you. Um, I'd actually save Kara for the game against Bournemouth. So
Bournemouth
then,
have got too much pace. You need Kehrer in the back line.
Kara and Agard would be my centre backs for that, but we'll do that on another day.
Yeah.
Emerson, I'd actually go with Johnson ahead of Soufal.
No.
I actually think
No.
no, but I actually think Soufal put in such a shift on Sunday. I actually want him for Sunday against Bournemouth. So I'd actually give him the night off, and I actually would put Johnson in there for my
Johnson was
sins.
woeful in the away leg.
Yeah, listen, Johnson's been woeful for quite a while, but sadly, these things do happen, and you will have to use. So again, in much the same way that you're going to get people coming for you.
I'd rather Kehrer right back than if he was going to drop
Yeah, same
Soufal.
here.
Yeah, no, but I still need him in for the
No.
for the Bournemouth game in the same way I need. So in the same way that you're going to get people coming for you, Steve, in the comments for your
Oh, gosh,
Areola
yeah.
dropping, I'm going to get people coming for me for my use of Kara. So don't worry about that. We'll deal with that
Harry
together.
Potter, he's coming for you.
My
You know
midfield.
what?
Go on.
I apologise to everybody, but I don't often read the comments because I do sometimes, and I say thank you to people. But everybody has a different point of view, and there will be people out there at the moment going, "Come on, Steve, how could you possibly say that? That is such a ridiculous statement to make." And from their point of view, they're right. I don't have a problem with them disagreeing with me.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be people that will agree with you and understand where you're coming from. There's going to be people that disagree with you in the same way as me with my use of Johnson. They probably it's not something that everyone's going to agree with, but people will understand.
Yeah, Andy and I haven't agreed with you, so you've got no chance of everyone agreeing.
Well,
with
yeah,
you.
no one's going to agree with me on Johnson. My midfield, I'd actually go more of a flat. Kind of a flatter two, and I'd actually go with Rice and Paqueta as the straightforward two in the middle. I'd actually ask Bowen and Ben Rama to be the two more advanced, kind of like left and right central attacking midfielders, if you will. In I'll tell you what, I've deleted it. What knob? I actually had the other one. I'll do that in a minute. I'd actually have them slightly further forward in Ben Rama and Bowen, and then I'd actually go. I want Antonio for the game against Bournemouth on Sunday. I'd actually go Cornet and Ings for my two strikers.
There actually is one strong argument for changing the team, which I hadn't considered. How leggy are they going to be after Sunday? Because
No, but I think
won't.
we'll be running on adrenaline, Steve. It's like we've already said, one step away from a cup, our second European Cup semi-final, and you might get some people going, well, it ain't a major semi-final. Sharp, just because your club is either used to playing in Champions League football, or you've got into finals of like domestic competitions. This is a major semi-final. It's a major European semi-final. It's a major semi-final for us, and it's a European semi-final. I don't care what fans
And the
of
other distinction,
Tottenham and the rest of them are going to say. I don't care.
well, the other distinction I wanted to make as well is we will have won it. We won't have bought it. There are certain teams with so much money.
Yeah.
They can just get whoever they want and play whoever they want and, become virtually invincible.
Well, I mean, you say that. I was downstairs in the pub last night, Monday night, watching the Liverpool annihilation of Leeds, and there was a Liverpool fan giving me a load of grief because I was at least we're still in Europe, and he was calling it a 2-bit competition and all the rest of it. I said, mate, that'll be what you're playing in next season if you continue to be as bad as you've been this season. That will be you. So don't tell me it's a two-bit competition and then they go, I'd rather not be playing than playing on a Thursday night in the Conference League. Yeah, all right. Well, that stinks of kind of a superiority complex for me. It really does. And teams are grateful to be playing in Europe when you haven't done it. Teams like Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, City, they have this kind of that's beneath us, and I just winds me
Yeah.
up closing away, really does. So Andy's, I'm going to try this. The officials, oh God's sake! So the referee is Aurel Greenfield, Feld. Where's he from?
Israel. They're all from Israel.
And then the assistant referees are Roy Hassan and Idan Yarkoni. I mean, I'm not going to lie, Roy Hassan does not sound like he's from Israel, does it? Let's not mess with
No.
old Roy, Roy Hassan. And then you've got the assistant VAR is Eli Hackman. Oh, my life. VAR. The main VAR is Roy Reinschreiber. That really sounds Israeli, doesn't it? Roy Reinschreiber. And then the fourth official is Gul Leibovich. Mate, they do not. In fact, apart from Idan Yarkoni, that they ain't Israeli. Orel Greenfield, Roy boy, Eli. There's two Roys. We got two Roys in the equation here. Why he's decided to spell his ROI is beyond me. And then,
Roy 1 and Roy 2.
Yeah.
Or he could mean Republic of Ireland.
Or but it could be Raw.
We've got the whole
Raw
Republic of Ireland negotiating on Thursday.
Honest to God.
I think we need to give Yossi Ben Ayoum a ring to give him a bit of a word, to give us a few decisions to go our way, I think.
Well, maybe give him a ring and see if he can help us pronounce the names right. I think I've just absolutely butchered them, chaps.
All the Israeli subscribers, Duke apologises in advance.
Yeah. I'd like to apologise now.
Very lovely country. I've been there. It's gorgeous.
It's not the end of the world, but I'm sure you can see it from there. Just talking about officials, and we mentioned it last night in the Monday night, whatever you want to call it, in the review of the Arsenal game. We were talking about the Arsenal players, weren't we, getting up and surrounding the referee after our penalty and the thing that we after their penalty and what we didn't do and all the rest of it. I'd just like to give a shout out to my favourite assistant referee, Konstantin Hatzidakis. He's actually returning to light duties apparently this weekend, and he'll be assistant VAR, obviously after the whole debacle of his suspension due to the elbowing of Andy Robertson in the Liverpool Arsenal game. As I've said many times before, Robertson shouldn't be going up there and laying his hands on the official. All the official done is shrugged him off, and he's caught him in the chin. I don't even think he should have been suspended. I don't think he should have been removed from duties, whatever you want to call it. And the players need to be reminded that they cannot go up and lay a hand on an official. In fact, there should be the rule reinforced that the only player that on the pitch that should be allowed to talk to the referee or the linesman or the assistants are the captains of the sides. I certainly don't think that players should be going up and touching the officials.
No.
I don't know what you boys think on that.
Touching me, touching you.
They're not quite singing Sweet Caroline, though, Andy. I think you wanted to.
I thought you were.
And I do think that's where the game just gets out of hand.
Captains only, I think.
Yeah,
And we would have avoided that with Robertson on that Sunday. You know, he shouldn't be going and approaching the assistant referee at half time. That they should be getting straight in, especially in my opinion, they should be getting straight into the changing rooms and getting themselves sorted. They were losing at this point, so he shouldn't be there
But
confronting.
I just wanted to add, I don't know whether you are aware, before we kick off on Thursday, we find out our opponents because they're the early game. So
They're
we
the
find
early
out,
game, aren't they? And
yeah,
Alkmaar are 1-0 up, are they?
Anderlecht are 2-0 up.
Oh, Anderlecht are 2-0 up. Yes, yes, yes. Which, listen, again, I'm not. It's very difficult to try and not get too far ahead because we've still got the game on Thursday or tonight, whenever this goes out. I'm going to probably put it out Thursday morning. So the game tonight, obviously, as Andy says, we then find out and Anderlecht are 2-0 up. It will be very easy to get too far ahead and go, well, we beat them twice in the group stages, and
yeah.
yeah, it's a whole
They're a
different kettle
different
of fish
team now.
once you reach a semi-final. We know this. We played Frankfurt last year, and I would have put money on us beating Frankfurt. In fact, I would have put money on Borussia Dortmund absolutely annihilating Glasgow Rangers last year in the playoffs after Dortmund came down out of the Champions League. So nothing is for granted. And yes, we have beaten them twice. And yes, do I think we're capable of doing it again? Yeah, I do. I saw something that someone had put on I think it was one of the Hammers chat videos or something on Twitter maybe that said about Fiorentina's form since the turn of the year.
It's frightening.
That
But they drew yesterday. They drew yesterday with Atlanta, though.
they did at Atlanta. I saw that. I had it on in the
But
background.
but if you look, Nice or Nice, whatever you want to say, they're
Nicey
obviously
nice.
drawing to see ya. They're obviously drawing 2-2 with Basel, so that's still not guaranteed.
That's not a given. Yep, agreed.
And obviously Fiorentina are 4-1 up, so you'd think you'll probably write that one off. And they're at home.
Is that
Leach?
Lech,
Oh,
isn't it?
Lecce Poznan? Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, looking at it, there's only one team guaranteed. Two teams. Well, there's no one guaranteed to go through from these games.
But if we
I
play Fiorentina in the final, that's an if. Not jumping to conclusions. I do fancy us though. Like they play very good football, but they won't be able to deal with our physical and the pace. Italian league is totally different, and that's where I reckon the game will be won and lost. They don't play Mikel Antonio every week.
No, I completely agree with you on that one. They have some fast players. I mean, listen, Felipe Anderson is no slouch. He is quick, and obviously he was at Lazio, and we sold him back to the Italian league. Juventus have Quadrado, and he's rapid as the next person out there.
He's 34 and still rapid. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but they don't have the physicality of someone like Mikel Antonio.
The only one I could compare, but he's not built, is Osimhen. He's the only one bit like Antonio.
Yeah, but he's
Osimhen's
not physical.
built, but I mean, well, what I mean is like getting in behind with pace. Like, there's not really many strikers in behind.
You only have to look at the way that Antonio on Sunday, the way he bullied the likes of Gabriel and Holding, Tierney, White. He literally gave all four of them an absolute torrid.
Sorry, I know we're pre-recording this, but there's been a goal in Napoli and Olivier Giroud. So Milan are 2-0 up against Napoli in the champion. Wow.
2-0 up against who?
Napoli. AC Milan are 2-0 up against Napoli in the
Champions League.
Quarter. So, and Chelsea are just going off at half time 0-0. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, boys, we're going to wrap it up there because otherwise we'll be talking for another 2 hours.
We're good at that.
The boys, did you see Gates's preview for the Arsenal game? He went live at 10 o'clock on the Saturday morning, 9 o'clock on the Saturday morning. He was still going at 11.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
You came in at the end, Andy. I don't know what was going on. 2 hours.
I know.
Jesus Christ, 2 hours of talking to yourself. I'd lose my mind. Saying that, my
I,
missus
I,
does that every day, to be fair.
yeah, I know. I was going to say, Shelley listens. Shelley goes, "What did you say?" No, I'm talking to myself.
No, I tell you, it's mad. It's absolute madness. But that again, everyone that's watching, jump in and leave your comments of your starting lineups. Obviously, this will go out on game day, so this will be go. You'll be watching this on Thursday morning. So drop your predicted lineups in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, like and share this stream. If you know of any West Ham fan that isn't subscribed to Thoughts from Iron, have a word in their shell. Like, I'll be honest, I took someone's phone yesterday in the pub, Tottenham fan. I subscribed it to Thoughts from Iron and I put the bell icon on so they'll get notified of when we put new stuff up. Steve, before we go, I want a score prediction from you.
2-0 to us.
Andy, score prediction from you.
3-1.
Oh, you see him scoring.
Yeah. I reckon it'll be late on. The game will be done and dusted. I fancy Pac-Man, Saeed Benrahma, and Bowen to score.
Yeah.
Steve, your goal scorers.
I'd have to go Antonio and Bowen.
Oh, big Macau. I like it. I'm actually feeling really confident, boys. I actually think this is the one that we should have done in the first leg, and this will be 4-0.
Could be.
And my goals come from Danny Ings hitting a brace, Ben Rama with a penalty, and a Naif Agerd header from a corner in the first half. There you go. I've put some money on it, chaps. Some money on it. I want to thank you both for joining me over the last couple of days. As I say, we've recorded this on Tuesday, so it's good to have you guys back and us recording these little extra time videos. I'll probably be doing a video with Rob tomorrow. So yesterday, when you're watching this, I don't know anymore. So keep an eye out for anything that we've got coming up. Me and the boys are going to be back very soon doing probably the Bournemouth review, probably the Bournemouth review, and probably talking about anything up and coming. If you're going to the game tomorrow night or tonight, Jesus Christ, if you're going to the game tonight, please don't forget to visit John and the guys over at the Iron Supporting Food Banks on the bridge by the Aquatic Centre. # bring a quid. I will be taking the monies raised by my pub since the start of April, and I have just over £200 to give to John by the guys in my pub, the Lewisham Tavern in Millwall territory, of all places, that have raised, like I say, just over 200 quid for the Iron Supporting Food Banks. And his church are going to obviously turn that into every pound into £5 worth of food. So that 200 quid that me and the guys here at the tavern have raised will turn into just over £1,000's worth of food. So if you're going, please take a couple of quid with you, drop it in the bucket for John and the guys at the Iron Supporting Food Banks. It's a fantastic cause in this day and age where we're not able to, some people aren't able to feed their families and they are relying on food banks and everything else. I'll just a quick story. Today, which is Tuesday, a gentleman came into my pub, overheard me talking about the Iron Supporting Food Banks, or in fact just food banks in general, and that we were raising money. He walked up to me, he gave me two £10 notes and said, "Put that in for the food banks, please." I then had to deal with an unsavoury issue in the pub, or an unsavoury guest in the pub. And before he left, he came up, he thanked me for dealing with the guest in the way that I dealt with the guest. and then said, "Here's another £30 for the Iron Supporting Food Banks." I didn't get his name; he wouldn't give me his name, so I could give him a shout out. But he actually donated £50 to the Iron Supporting Food Banks. So, thank you to him. Giroud missed a penalty, Andy. Just quickly.
Yeah.
For those of you, like I say, going, please donate. It's a great cause. You never know when you're going to need the possibility of a food bank. I know a couple of my customers do use them. So, it's people from all walks of life. So please be generous. Please help out. Andy, is there anyone you need to thank before we leave?
No one.
No one you want to thank tonight, no?
No, I'm not in that kind of mood.
I'll do it then. Thank you, Jesus. He's been good to me.
Thank you, Jesus. Indeed. I just can't. It just does me every time.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, thank
thing
you
is,
for
I
joining me.
mean it.
Oh, you do. Yes, I get that. And
Yeah, I'm a man of faith, as you know.
I'm a man of little faith when it comes to West Ham, but I'm going to be cheering them along later on this evening. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me, and I shall see you all very soon.
Take care.
Right.
Thank you, Jesus.
There he is.